little flame, now get out the way. Whole lot of change, still been the same, put that on the name. I had to go through it just to get to it, look what I became. Elevate, level up, way to the top.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Star Motivates You. I'm Glenda Baker, along with my host, Star Singletary.
Okay.
We'd like to take this moment to thank our sponsor, Best Buy, for proudly sponsoring us. Thank you. We're really excited about tonight's special guests. We have TigMatic in the house. Thank you so much for being on tonight, Tig.
Thank y'all for having me. Star, thank you. Glenda, thank you.
Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So what's going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling good. How are you
Feeling
doing?
great.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Huh?
Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, for those that don't know, my name is TigMatic. I'm a rapper. I'm officially an actor thanks to this woman up above me. I'm a rapper. I'm an actor. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. And I'm a father. And I'm a husband. You know what I'm saying? From the Philadelphia area. And now I reside in North Carolina.
All right, that's what's up.
Oh,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Neighbors. Well, we know that you had something happen to you. Can you tell us all a little bit about that?
Okay. Sure, no problem. Okay, so what happened to me? December 3rd, 2011, I got shot in the head by somebody I did not know. I was basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's what happened. I got shot in the head. I died. I came back to life, changed my life. And now I'm here in the South, living life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. How did that change your life? Like,
How did it change me?
yeah.
That's a great question. Well, in order for me to answer that question, I have to tell you guys a little bit more about, my life, right?
Right.
So at one point in time, I was a guy that was infatuated with street life. I was doing things in the street, the wrong things, as people as people say, I was doing the wrong things out in the street. I was out and about, not being a good guy. And like I said, that happened to me. So how it changed me was when I died, I basically saw where I was going. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense to people, you know what I'm saying? I saw myself get pulled to hell, and then I saw my grandmother who was dead already for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And she told me, like, it's not your time yet. You don't belong here. And it wasn't hell where we were, though. It was like a dark place. It was like a dark, cold place. And when she was telling me I didn't belong there, it was like she was pushing me, like, get out. And I woke up. So from that moment when I woke up, when I tell y'all, like every day since then, I've been on a mission to be a better me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it changed me. God gave me another opportunity to live out here, and it changed the way I think, the way I see life, the way I see people, and everything. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It sure is. It's really beautiful that everything you're working towards is all positive now. And speaking of which, could you tell us a little bit about what you are currently working on?
Absolutely. So, because my life has changed and I do things different now. I was on the radio for a year and a half. I stopped being on the radio, and then as I stopped doing radio, I was trying to figure out, what's the next thing I'm gonna do. I became a business owner. Became a merchant on one end, but then on the other end, I came up with another idea to start a podcast. And my podcast is called the Podcast with TigMatic. On that
It's a great
show,
show.
I talk about the struggles artists go through while having to entertain the world. And I have all types of walks of life, just like you guys, and they come and share their struggles, their pains, their triumphs, and everything, and how they overcame them. So that's what I did.
Love it.
That's for sure. Could you tell us how you got into like podcasting, into the fashion, working in
How
fashion with
what?
your own merch? How did you get into like fashion, and how did you get into podcasting?
How did I get into fashion, and how did I get into podcasting?
Yes.
Wow. Well, the fashion thing. Okay, I'm from Philly, so you know what I'm saying. Us Philly guys, we always had this thing about us where we want to match everything, color coordinate, and do all of that, right? That's always been our thing, color coordination. You can't wear Nike shorts with Adidas on your feet, things like that. It's like, no, if you're gonna wear Nike, you gotta wear Nike from the top to the bottom. You wear
Got a
polo,
Nike
you gotta
out
wear it from the top to the bottom. That was our thing, So for me, I felt like, those high name designers don't make clothes affordable for people,
They don't.
So for me, I wanted to, although I have some things that are at a nice little price, but that's for those people who can afford it. But I have things that are affordable, and I wanted to make things that were affordable. So I decided to make some designs and make some good clothes out here, and people like it. And that's what happened. I birthed a clothing label, and people like it. And I also decided to sell other people clothes as well. So that's how I got into it. And people really was pushing me to do it. I had inspiration from other people that are close to me, like family, my wife, and she's my partner as well. So, it was only right that, I just tried at it, took a try at it, and it worked.
Great support system. That's what's up.
What age did you decide to get into music?
9 years old.
Really?
9 years old. Yep, 9 years old. And I'm 42, so that's a long run in music.
Yeah.
I had a long run in music, and that was something that I held dear to me because when I was young, my mom would play all sorts of music. She would play, LL, Kumo D, Coogee Rap, all the old school singers, Phyllis Hyman, Anita Baker, like everything Tina Turner was her favorite. I fell in love with Tina Turner legs as a kid, but yeah, so for me, it was like natural. I started to write over the people that I would hear on the radio. I would hear these people, and I started to write over their songs, and then started rapping over top of their songs while the beat was going. And yeah, it's just something that I never stopped doing since. So yeah, that's a long time to be doing it, and it's just been a pleasure to make music.
That's what's up. So tell us, who do you wish to work with later on in your career?
Who did I work with later on?
Who do you wish to work with like later on?
Who do I
in your
wish
career?
I could work with? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That's a great question because there's quite a few people that I wish I could work with. But one of the main people that I wish I could work with the most is two people. Busta Rhymes. No, it's three people. Busta Rhymes, Eminem,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say Hove, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Those
Okay.
are like three people that I hold in high regard because their lyrical ability and their ability to stay forever changing in a forever changing industry as far as rap is concerned. They evolve with the times and they just keep it going. So for me, that's an inspiration, and I feel as though, like you could keep going if you can see people as old as these dudes going in, and they're older than me, and they still have that natural talent, like they was still young bucks, hungry as ever. So, yeah.
That's some good choices right there. Have you ever thought about getting some of your music into film?
Absolutely. I'm hoping that Miss Singletary here decide to, put a couple of my records on if she can. And I'm also been writing. I've also been writing a track for the Fentanyl Killer. I didn't tell y'all because I was going to surprise y'all, but boom, it's here.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping to get my music in as many films as I can. I work hard. So, that will be a blessing to have, my music in a film. That's something that I pray could happen for me and hope one day that it does happen,
Absolutely.
And it will. Matter of fact, it will. So, how many songs do you have out?
How many songs right now? Okay, so it's not that many songs I have out right now in this current moment. I do have old work. I have old bodies of work, but I don't count that because I was an engineer back then. And I just said on BRL podcast when I was on it, we was laughing and joking about it, but I was a horrible engineer. Now it's different. I'm a little bit more seasoned. I figured it out, so I know how to engineer now. But I have the Fraud and Record produced by Foolish Made This Fool. I have Fake A World. I'm not gonna say the word, I'm not gonna curse, but Fake A Double, World. Yeah. And I Know featuring Reese Rawway. Both the Fake A World and I Know featuring Reese Rawway on both of those. So those are the top 3 songs that I have out right now that I'm pushing and hoping to get some radio play with them.
That's what's up. Congrats on that. Congrats.
If you could give some advice, what advice would you give to your younger self?
To my younger self?
Yeah.
Go home. Nah, just kidding. But if I had some that could be part of it because a lot of the time I wanted to be out in the street and I should have been home, But
right.
The main piece of advice that I would give myself is to lock in and focus more because, when I was younger, I was one of them young ones that chased a lot of things with ambitions that I shouldn't have ambition for. So focus on my craft more. That's what I would have told my younger self.
Okay. That's great advice. That's great. And if you had the chance right now, what rapper would you like to do a feature with?
Who would I like to do a feature with right now?
Yeah, with like today's current order.
It's two again. Okay. You asked me about what artists that's out right now, but artists right now that's not signed. Dollar Hunter is one.
Okay.
That's who I want. I really want to put Dollar on the Fraud and Remix. I want to put him on that song so bad. And he said he was with it, so hopefully that gets to happen, right? So Dollar Hunter is one, and I would say you asked me a tough question. Okay, I would say my old rap partner, Jay Weldon, because we never really got to put anything out on the radio. And that's a guy I hold in high regard. That's like one of my close friends of 20 years. And we haven't made music since we were youngins. So if I had the opportunity to do something with him and he's getting the ASCAP Lifetime Achievement Award, and he picked me to deliver his speech. So if I had to choose somebody, that would be the person.
Okay. Great people.
So what are some pros and cons when it comes to switching from one career to another one, because you're very versatile and you've got a lot of roles you play.
Sure. Okay, so what I say is the pro of switching from being a rapper to a radio personality and a podcast host, the pro is you get more fans. You get more people to hear you. You get more people to listen to you. You know, I've been blessed to be on platforms such as this one and others, you know, where people get to learn about me all over again. You know, it's like I'm reinventing myself, right? At this age, a lot of people say, hang it up, you're too old, you know, but now we have the Killer Mikes of the world who's 50 years old winning Grammys and things like that. Age has no, it doesn't really have a, it doesn't really matter. I'll just say that. It doesn't really matter. It really does not matter your age. It's about your talent and your skill set, right?
That's right.
So yeah, so that's what I would say on that.
All right.
The con is it's very time consuming, especially if you have a family and young children. It's very time consuming. And it could be hard to manage that time. Although it's time consuming, it's hard to manage it sometimes because you're stretched out doing so many different things. You still got to be daddy. You still got to be a husband. You got to, on radio, you have a different personality. On podcasting, you have a different personality. And then with rapping, it's multiple personalities. So you got to keep everything in a bottle sometimes and then just hope the bottle doesn't spill over and spill over everywhere.
Not spread yourself too thin, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so that's something that I would say is a con with that. So yeah.
Okay. Was it like scary for you to make that change, like switching from music to like doing podcasting?
Yeah, I like to do the podcasting. I would say I like podcasting more, right?
You like podcasting? Okay.
I like doing podcasting more because I get to reach people and talk to them a whole lot more. It's totally different. The energy is up, you know, and depending on the person, if they have laid back energy, you get to bring their energy up. You know what I'm saying? And I can use Star as a reference because when Star came on my show, she's a very well reserved person, but when she came on my show, her energy was up, and you know your energy's up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like, and that's my sis. You know, so we talk all the time, and I want to say I appreciate y'all for having me on here. Also, you know, that's definitely dope.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on here.
Yeah.
And tell us more about your podcast.
Okay. So the podcast, like I said, it's about the struggles artists go through while having to entertain the world. The reason I started the show is because I feel like, you know, we have so many people out here from all different walks of life, right? Old and young. Who's going to bridge the gap to have conversations and to talk about the music all together in one? You know, there's something that can be hard for some people because they look down on the younger generation if they're older. And the younger looks down on the older generation because they feel like they have it now and they can't be taught anything. So, you know, that was part of the reason I started the show. But also I wanted to bring mental health awareness to people that are creatives. The creatives are people that go through things mentally as well, just like anybody else. And, you know, sometimes it can be very stressful. And you never know what a person is going through. You know, life can get hard. And as life gets hard, you need somebody to talk to sometimes. And I'm that guy. You feel a little down? Come on the pod. I can make you feel better, you know? Yeah, you know, a lot of people thought that because they heard the title that, you know, my show was basically about weed. And it's not, you know, like I said, it's just I called it The Pot because my friend Gio, I went on Facebook one day and I was like, when you think of me, tell me what do you, I'm looking for a title of my show. When you think of me, what do you think of? And he literally said, the pot. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, yo, you're a mixture of everything. And that also plays into my other show, Stirring the Pot.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two shows. It's the Pot Podcast, where we talk the mental health awareness, and Stirring the Pot, where we just highlight the artists and talk about what they do only. You know, and if they want to share, they can. They don't have to, but it's mainly just about the music or whatever business they have or whatever it is that they do, because it's not just music artists. It's all walks of life, once again.
So we like to end our show with like positive advice or motivation. What positive advice would you give to the younger generation?
Okay, so here's something that I would love to say to the youth. To a lot of y'all, put the guns down, for one. You know, it's a lot of killing going on, and that's all races. It's not one particular race, because some people like to make things about race. The young generation is just killing everybody, right? Also, what I would tell them is, you know, listen to those people that are in pocket that give you wisdom, old and young, because you have people the same age as them that are trying to tell them, hey, don't do this. There's a different way. And listen to them, you know. And also, if you have a dream, don't be afraid to go out there and live it. You know, don't be afraid to try anything, and hold your head up high out here. Have self-esteem about your great self-esteem about yourself, because we live in a world today where there's so much depression and anger, and you know, let God handle all your stress, all your anger. Let him take control, and life will be so much better. You know, that's something that I would definitely love to say to all the youth. Pray, eat right, be positive, you know, and don't look at things so negatively, you know?
Sure.
Absolutely. That's great advice. We want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Can you tell the audience where they can find your clothing line?
All right. So if you want to go on to get some clothes, some jeans, some sneaks, I make custom sneaks as well. But I also sell other stuff, you know, that's not mine, you know. You can go on DamaniBrand.com, DamaniBrand.com.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody, please check that out. And where can we find you, Tig, on social media?
Hey, y'all can find me on Facebook, Matic Whitaker, MATIC WHITAKER. It almost sounded like I was rapping for a second. I don't know why. Also, you can find me on Instagram at TigMatic, as you see on the screen, TIGMATIC. And you can also find my podcast Instagram, _pot_podcast_with_TigMatic_.
Okay. All right.
That's a lot, right?
Make sure y'all go follow.
Go check out TigMatic on his social. Check out his clothing line. Bye. It's been a real pleasure having you on tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me once again. Thank you, Star. Thank you, Glenda.
Welcome, and thank you.
And we'd like to take this time again to thank our sponsor, Best Buy. Thank you so much for proudly sponsoring us. We hope you guys will tune in again next week on Sunday at 7:30. We've got a surprise special guest straight out of Nashville, Tennessee. We look forward to seeing you all then. Take care.
We ain't the same. Get in your lane, stay in your lane. Wait, this ain't a game. Been through the flame, now get out the way. Whole lot of change. Still been the same, put that on the name. I had to go through it just to get to it. Look what I became. Elevate, level up, way to the top, headed to the peak.